So this question was on an old exam, and the first thing you need to do was to write a function to represent the volume. The volume's going to equal length times width times height. And so that was the first mark out of the 5 marks that this question was worth. Not too bad. Then it says find all possible values of x given that the volume is 96. And this is where there was a little bit of controversy in this question. One, because it was non-calculator, it's kind of telling you that you shouldn't expect x to equal 3.872. Agreed? Like, our numbers should be fairly nice. So it didn't take long for students to plug in numbers and figure out that 2 had to be an answer. Unfortunately, if you used that technique and just guessed and checked and got 2 as an answer, you only got 2 out of 5 on this question. Because guessing and checking finds a answer, but it doesn't show all possible values. It just shows that 1, but it doesn't eliminate that there aren't any other ones possible. When you do an algebraic solution, your algebraic solution provides all answers. So how do we solve this algebraically? And this is the hard part, because you already see the right side factored, so you think, oh, things are good. But when do we factor something? We factor something when it's equal to 0 on the one side, and it's equal to 96 on the other. So the solution to this one is, first of all, you'd have to multiply this out. So I'm going to multiply these first 2. And then I'm going to multiply the next ones. 2x squared plus 10x squared, 20x, am I missing one? X cubed and 20x. And then move the 96 over to make one side equal to 0. Now the crazy thing about this one, being on a non-calculator question, is now you're going to have to plug in factors of 96 to see which is going to equal 0. So on a non-calculator, would you start with 1 and -1 or 96 and -96? Probably 1 and -1. Trying both of those don't actually give you an answer, and it's not until you try 2. So if I call this whole function g of x, g of 2 is equal to 8 plus 4 times 12, 48, plus 40 minus 96 is equal to 0. It's all good? So once you have that, then you could use synthetic division. Sorry, if I plugged in 2, there'd be a plus 2. This means that x minus 2 is a factor. And we could plug 1, 12, 20, 96. Bring down the 1. This is a negative 96. And so we could write our division statement that our original function, g of x, is equal to x minus 2 multiplied by x squared plus 14x plus 48. Can this be factored further? Or were we done factoring? X plus 6, x plus 8. So when you solve these, you do get 2 other possibilities. That x could be negative 6 and x could be negative 8. But now if we think back to the context of our question, what did x stand for? It stood for one of the lengths of the side of a box. So in this case, both of those are not realistic. So when figuring out, and again, what did the question ask? State the dimensions of the box. Only x equals 2 makes sense. Two by, was it x plus 3 or x plus 2? By 4 by 12 centimeters. Make sure you write your units. If there are units given, make sure you write your units in your answer as well. So the hard part about this question for the final exam is not the factoring, but the fact that once you plug in 96, you had to expand it to move the 96 over and then to factor it afterwards. So first of all, we had to expand everything and then move the 96 over to the other side and then factor it completely to get our answer.